for you as an academic, how important is it? Because first of all, we hear the minister say we are still going to supply day-old checks to farmers. When I believe we should be thinking about hatcheries, for example, we should be thinking about increasing the feed for the poultry, for example. We should be thinking about the basics. We are still going to Holland, Amsterdam, to go and import 1 million day-old chicks like it's being done currently in the country, even if we are going to rear them, produce them ourselves. But the day-old chicks will come from outside. So, I mean, for you as an academic, how do you see the policy of Nkiti?
So, as I mentioned, it's a good one. And for me, you cannot conjure things. Everything must go through the mill and through a process. So I'm sure whoever is in charge of the Nkukon Kitengete must have scanned the Bono region, the Ashanti region, and perhaps the Eastern region to see potential hatcheries and whether they do have the capacity to supply. Maybe they may not be able to supply the kind of quality and consistency of the day-old chicks, because you want reliable day-old chicks, and they might have floated a bit. And maybe these firms in Holland might have come up to say that they can supply it.
Should government not be investing in production of day-old chicks, hatcheries, and so on and so forth, rather than buying them from... You asked the question, which is a very potent one. In fact, I wrote it here. Are we not shipping jobs abroad, number one? Whose money, number two?
Yeah, of course, as an economist,
yes.
I don't believe that government should be producing day-old chicks.
You don't believe the government?
No, they
Why?
should. Government should do 4 things.
Please lecture us.
Yeah, the first is that government should ensure that rules of the game are set and properly set thereof. Second, those rules must also be interpreted by courts, and whenever there are disagreements, there should be someone to help us adjudicate it. Third, we need proper policing to ensure that if I do any investment, my investment is protected and nobody will come stealing or perhaps taking it away from me.
Yes.
And finally, government should also provide security in terms of any external attacks. So first, investment in protection of the country. Number 2, interior security. 3, rules of the game. And the certainty that if there are issues when I go to court, I will be treated fairly. Those are the things government should do. But if you come to the open market, what we expect from government is to simply facilitate private sector to push things forward.
Local private sector. I mean, to protect local industries. For you as economists, we will also talk about local participation in the growth of businesses, eventual development of the country, and so on and so forth. So for local participation, I am still asking, should government not provide a conducive environment, maybe the investment, for the local companies to produce day-old chicks? You still don't believe that?
But that is this answer is philosophical.
Okay, sir.
And as I say, for me, everything that we want to do here in this country, if it's not for any security reasons, the private sector must be supported to do it. Government can do something, but we are usually bad at doing it. Therefore, if
that's very true.
Private sector can do something, then they need to be supported to do so. But coming back to the point on day-old chicks, I'm sure as a young person, you might have heard of Akate Farms, Kwabena
Dako Farms,
etc. Even if you go to Doma, Unity Farms, I do believe they do have hatcheries. The question is, if we asked of them for 1 million day-old chicks for, let's say, 6 weeks every day, whether they can produce it. So if there is some capacity within Ghana, let's take some from them. once they receive those resources, they could expand and meet our needs. But I will not say that at all cost we should say no importation. You build capacity before you start saying that no imports should come in. And I'm not sure the thinking which went into it, but I believe they might have done the math and know that with all the hatcheries available, maybe the quantities they are looking for may not be available when
For the project, that the policy the government is trying to roll out now.
Perhaps.
And so it is okay to provide that environment for the private sector to thrive and also to engage. Okay, so even though I've put you on the Nkukwo Nketenkete for a while, let's come to the grain glut that we have. Is it the case that we have a grain glut in the country?
It's a good question, and I think one of the first things we may, or the foundation we may want to lay, is whether there has been an overproduction. We can discuss that first before we come to glut. So just to provide some statistics.
Yes.
So if any Ghanaian eats 1 American ton of rice, it's likely that half of that cup at least is imported. And this has been happening.
If any Ghanaian eats
1 cup of
rice,
yes, it's likely that half of that cup
is imported.
So in the last 10 years, all the consumption of rice in Ghana, Ghanaian farmers have been able to provide just 50%.
And the rest of the 50% is imported.
In
For
some
rice.
years, it's even higher.
Yes.
For maize, Ghana has done quite well. In many of the years, we import very little, and sometimes we even export some. So it's not a big issue. If you check sorghum and millet, most of our consumption, we produce it locally. And if any sorghum or millet products come in, maybe it might be processed. But otherwise, we are quite secure there. I'm limiting myself to these.
To these three. So we have rice, we have maize, we have sorghum and millet.
Yeah, these 4.
Okay, yeah, for these 4.
Yes, but the cowpea, etc., we import a lot of it. When I say cowpea, it's what we use for the gari and beans.
Yes.
We import a lot of it from, I think, Niger, northern Nigeria, etc. So for most parts of the year, the beans we eat is not produced in Ghana. We bring them.
All the gobe and we have been chasing. We don't produce them here.
We do produce some, but
not
all of them. All of them. Some come from northern Nigeria, I think Niger, etc. At different
so
times.
when we get excited about gobe being a traditional food and we are chasing it all over, we are supporting a different market. I mean, by a larger extent.
To some extent.
To some extent.
Yeah. And there is a reason for why our local production of beans is going down. But of course, some of what we eat is imported. So we want to take these grains one by one.
Yes. So rice.
The rice, yes.
Okay,
the rice story is quite critical, and for me, if you have lived long enough in Ghana, you might know that in 1998, the Ghanaian government more or less guaranteed a loan of 20 million.
Yes.
For a firm from the US to help us produce enough rice so that we wouldn't have to import. Of course, it didn't quite work. But the idea was that if that farm had worked, then our $4 million annual import of rice would have been removed, and we could have saved that money for other things. It didn't work, and we've been at it for the past 26 years, and it's still not worked. Every year, we import